Hi and welcome to this Cancer-inspired reading for November 2025. We are looking at a general reading in the beginning, and in the second part we are going into a relationship dynamic. And I am working with the symbolism of the tarot cards and the symbolism of Western astrology to provide some insight, maybe a picture, a perspective that you can work with in your own path of self-development. I am not your regular fortune teller or psychic. I am not interested in telling you your future. I am reading the cards and providing maybe some inspiration. All right, we start. We already have a jumper with a 5 of Wands, and I like a 5 of Wands, I have to say. It's a card of strife, it's a card of competition, it's a card of really putting yourself out there, and also maybe going into environments where you can measure yourself with others, where you also fight for what you believe in, and you also fight for yourself. This doesn't have to be, a war type energy or a conflict that is destructive. It is more about really putting yourself into the mix of things, and sometimes it's really just like, I'm going to fight for this, and I'm going to be present, and I'm going to be here, and I'm not going to back up. So this is a good thing. Of course, we need some power, we need some force, we need some drive to move forward here, but it could be a very beneficial thing here to go into this type of competition with your environment, and maybe even into competition with what other people want and what other people believe, and how you can find your way in this and fight your way through this. So I like to see it as a athletic card or as a sporty card, where we really go into a competition in a healthy way, and maybe also in a playful way, because we have Leo here, and Leo is still bringing a playful element that of course has a little bit of aggression. And when we want to look at playfulness and aggression, it is a fine line. We can see it in animals, for example, and the fire represents a little bit more of that animalistic side within us, where it's like, okay, we play, but maybe we play rough a little bit, and that's what we do here. Very good. Putting ourselves out there, going into competition, and not backing up, or how do you say it? Not hiding. So yeah, let's see. Ooh, the Tower. Maybe something really burst, some energy was bursting open. I want to say warrior type energy or fighting energy, because with the Tower we do have that Mars energy, and we do have that fire like opening up and floating free and breaking open. Maybe very sudden. Maybe you feel a very sudden explosion of movement and of inspiration, of also motivation, and it could be quite forceful, and it could feel like a brute force. Maybe you feel like you're finding back, or you're coming back to your brute force, and you're ready to go into that fight, whatever that fight is for you. You're ready to really compete, you're ready to show yourself, you're ready to go, and you have a lot of power, a lot of raw power bursting open. You could have broken open some walls within yourself that help you really generate that force, and it seems like this force is very, very strong. It seems like a sudden burst of energy, of maybe unexpected. Even the Tower often brings something unexpected, but the Tower is often also a card that really breaks down walls that hold us back, that really goes through walls. Maybe we've torn down some walls quite brutally within ourselves or in the environment, and it's an explosion, it's a breakthrough. Love it. It could be very forceful in a sense where it's like, I'm gonna have this now, and I'm gonna fight for this no matter what. You know, I'm ready. I'm ready to make this happen. There is no hindrances anymore. Yes, exactly. Yes, love it. 10 of Cups. Yes, yes, yes. We are fighting for our full emotional capacity to experience this thing called life, and we are fighting for that emotional fulfillment, and we are fighting for what we want, and it seems like we're fighting. We're ready to strive for our best life, and for experiencing and living our best life, and we are ready. We are not backing up again. We are not holding back anymore. We're not holding back anymore. We're not holding back when it comes to getting what we want. Even if there is competition, even if there is somebody who is like, I want that too, and you're like, nope, that's mine. Excuse me. Sorry. You can try. Fight me. You know, fight me. I'm gonna have this. If you want to have this too, you're gonna have to fight me. And I love it, Cancer. I love it for Cancer, because Cancer is really quite the opposite of any fighting energy or aggressive energy. But if it comes to their emotional well-being and living a fulfilled life, they're like, you can stop me. You can stop me. Now we have a 9 of Wands as well, which is also beautiful, which is a card that tells us we're very much in tune with our subconscious and our higher self, and there's a very good connection from our instincts to our mind, in a sense. And we have a lot of, it's all about experience and expanding, and all that experience that we've gathered over maybe a long stretch of time, we can now really use and implement, and we draw strength out of it, and we are not backing up anymore. I'm not sure if I'm saying this right, but yeah, backing up is just coming through a lot. Maybe we've had a lot of times where we let ourselves be held back by walls that we've built maybe ourselves, or that have been put into our way, and that have been standing in our way to this moment of emotional fulfillment. And we are just done. We are done. The Queen of Wands is a card of timing for me. Also, the Wands represent this go-getter, very proactive, very action-oriented energy. She is the businesswoman. She is the witch. She is the also sexually liberated woman. She gets what she wants. She's very attractive. She's very charismatic. She has that oomph in her, you know, she has that type of drive in her to really not let anybody tell her what to do or how to do it. And the difference between the Queen and the King, I like to say, is that she has a little bit of better timing. She knows when to wait, she knows when to receive, she waits for the right moment to act, and at the same time she knows very well what she wants, but she's still at the same time, because she's a queen, very much in tune with her inner world and her emotional world and her way of feeling things. So yeah, this is extremely powerful. You're just not letting anything hold you back anymore to fight for this 10 of Cups, which is this arriving in a moment of bliss, you know, and understanding what that means to live a life of bliss and fulfillment with all your surroundings, because the 10 of Cups really speak also of sharing that. It's not only about us. The 9 of Cups is more about ourselves and how we generate that for ourselves, and the 10 of Cups is like the full picture of how do I share that with my surroundings, with my loved ones, and how can I create that how can I create that circumstance so that I feel fulfilled also with my environment? It is quite amazing, my dear Cancer. So yeah, you're very powerful at this time. Let's see how we can work with that in our relationships. But this seems like a time where you are really in the forefront, you know. It's sure, relationships I'm sure is very important too, but it's about you now. It's like, I get what I want now for once. For once. Things are gonna work out the way I want it to work out, and I will fight for it. Okay, relationships. So this is you and another person. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but it could be a romantic relationship. Something might not be, you might not be aware of something, or you might not be seeing something. The first thought was maybe there's a person. Oh, there is so many things that are coming out. But it seems like you're letting it go because it's in the past. Maybe you're letting a bunch of people go also. Yeah, the World card. Maybe you're just like also done in your relationships with certain people. You're not like, I'm done. And I don't know, recently I've had that experience. I'm not sure if this is a collective feeling that, you know, normally I'm a Libra sun, so I like harmony and I like to be on good terms with people. I don't like to, I'm good at cutting out people if it needs to happen, but I still want to see the positive aspects of them, or I still want to, you know, even if I have to keep a distance from certain people, I still want to see the positive parts about them. And often, you know, I find myself in the position, and I know I'm talking about myself, but maybe it resonates with somebody, where I kind of want to build that more balanced ground again. And then even though I know somebody really did something to upset me, or something that is just plain wrong in my opinion, I still try to reach out the peace pipe or something, you know, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'm not gonna hold a grudge, it's fine. And I've had experiences lately where I'm like, no, I'm done with this. If you cannot act this way towards me, and I'm not gonna be your friend. And that's just what it is, you know. So even though I like to be friends with everybody in a sense, but you cannot. And I don't know, maybe this resonates. I know it's like my personal experience, but yeah. Sometimes you're just done. And again, death card in the reverse. Yeah, sometimes you are just done with things and they're dead done. And we are with the death card in Scorpio season, we are dealing with those processes that are just, we're done. You know, it's not, there's no rehashing and opening up the conversation, and it's done is done. And I feel like that is a big part of your relationships right now in general, that you found control and dominion, which is the Two of Wands here, over, you've learned how to act in the moment to keep your emotional independence and stability and maturity and joy. Nine of Cups, and we talked about the Nine of Cups, which is this more self-sustainable skill of feeling emotionally well. The 10 is when we share, it's the next step. So yes, we've established that, and we're just, there's parts of us that just are dead, that maybe held us back from staying in this independence and from questioning, you know, decisions or relationships, or have I done the right thing, or should I do more, or should I have done more? And I feel like this is done. You're done with certain types of interactions that really risk your emotional well-being. So kudos to you, Cancer. All right, this other person, the world in the reverse. They might not be as done with certain circumstances as you are in a certain case, or it could be also a person that is not done with you. Because it doesn't seem like a new person, quite honestly. The world card in the reverse, if it's a new person, it doesn't seem like a new person. It seems like there is still people surrounding you, or a certain person surrounding you that is not done the way you are done. And they are kind of still trying to wrap up a cycle. Knight of Potions. But you're just very stable in your emotions, and you are not getting too irritated by that. You're just like, yeah, I get it, I see, I understand, I feel you. I'm not gonna... You're dealing with it in a very, very mature way. You might even have a very therapeutic effect on somebody without necessarily knowing it. The King of Potions is talking about the King of Cups, and it is talking about Cancer energy. So this is a Cancer card actually. And he just has a very therapeutic type of way of dealing with people, because he knows himself and his inner world and his emotional world very, very well. He's very mature, very intelligent emotionally, and he knows how, he just has a really good insight into people's experiences and emotions and challenges. And he comes from a place of love and understanding, and he can see that there is, I mean, with the world card in the reverse, it's a big step, you know. It's like a world card in the reverse is just like also sometimes a moment, because the world is really us stepping into a new identity, a completely new cycle of living, a complete new thing. And we might be understanding that for a certain person or for some people surrounding us, it's just taking some time to take this step. And often this world card in the reverse is often exactly that leap that is just not something that can go in an instant, and it's just still forming. This portal we want to step through is still forming. And we're really looking with the Knight of Potions, we're also really looking at a part of ourselves, really, in relationship readings, that comes into awareness, where really a person or people can show us what is incomplete within us that we want to bring to completion, you know. Interesting. Two of Presents in the reverse, Eight of Candles. Well, there is definitely, with the Two of Presents in the reverse, there is some how can I say that, a little bit of a inflexibility maybe, or a hard time understanding how to handle a new situation or this new path, or how to juggle certain responsibilities in maybe a relationship, how to build also with a situation that might feel a little incomplete. But there is still a lot of inspiration and a lot of movement, and there's also the Magician. So I think right now it's not so much about thinking too practically when it comes to relationships. It sounds stupid, but maybe it is a little stupid, because there is, with the cups, there's always a little bit of naivete also that comes through. There is a lot of action motivated energy here with the Magician and the Eight of Candles. So a lot of things can happen very fast. And it also is speaking of this Tower moment. Maybe we have so much energy now that we can make things happen. We need to know that we can make things happen right now. And we don't necessarily want to wait for things to happen with the Empress in the reverse. We'd rather, you know, look at the timing, of course, with the Queen of Wands, but we can make things happen now. We can use the momentum, you know, the momentum of the fire energy to really make things happen quick and fast, and use that excitement of that forceful and strong and powerful fire energy. Yeah, I think not thinking too practically is probably a good thing. There's also Devil in the reverse. This is not a toxic situation or anything. This is not something that is really weakening us or trying to control us. There's also a Strength card coming through. There's a Tower card. I feel like there will be maybe an outburst of forward movement that we're just anticipating already, and it's coming in, and it just needs to form, you know. It's very interesting, this reading. Yeah, Serpent power. Ooh, it's a lot of sexual energy as well, I have to say. Serpent power. Kundalini awakening. It could be in Kundalini awakening that experiences in relationships now also can bring. And you know how much power you can generate with the right combination of that thing. You can create life. Just saying. So Serpent power, the power of the root of mystical transformation. Love it. The pure energy of sexuality and evolutionary change. Power. Yeah, you know, don't think too practically right now. Just ride the wave of this really strong, powerful fire energy. Just ride it. I feel like that's, yeah, ride the wave of the fire. I know for Cancer that's a little scary, but you can do it, man. You can do it. All right, my dear people, please check out my description box, like, subscribe, comment, and I hope I'll talk to you soon. And until then, have a great, great, great time, and I'll see you then next time.